Thank you. Good evening, students. Yep. Good evening, everyone. Good to see your acknowledgements. So, welcome to the session on GST. So, we completed in the previous session the topic of time of supply and value of supply. Okay, so time of supply and value of supply is completed. Now, we are getting into the main heart of the GST and the topic of the GST, which we have discussed in all the chapters, which will refer again and again. And this is the main topic which will be relevant across all the topics, because input tax credit is the crux. In registration also we will use input tax credit. In returns also we will use input tax credit, and in outward supply also we will use, because you will see in this chapter that this is so intrinsic to the topic of GST that in every topic we will be talking about input tax credit, right? Like in our previous chapter on composition, not on composition, on time of supply also we used input tax credit. In case of exemption also we have used input tax credit, because it will have linkage in all the other topics. So that's the reason we will use this topic in various places. Okay, now what is input tax credit? We all have a basic understanding, correct? तो सबको पता है कि इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट क्या है, और बेसिकली हमको ऊपर ऊपरी काइंड ऑफ बेसिक नॉलेज पता है, बट नॉट इन डिटेल. सो हियर वी विल डिस्कस द लीगल प्रोविजंस एंड इन डिटेल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट और उसका क्लेम कैसे होता है. ठीक है? So this, as a matter of agenda, this will be covered in 4 days, right? Because the ITC is so very important that it has to get covered in detail. So we will cover in 4 days, starting from today, then the 25th, then the 27th, and then second is a holiday because of Gandhi Jayanti, and then we will have it on the 4th. So this will be spread over 4 sessions. Okay. I will explain this in Hindi also, so that people who are well, because this topic is very important, as I had said, that we need to understand the crux of it and understand it completely. तो इसका डिटेल में समझने के लिए मैं हिंदी में भी एक्सप्लेन करूंगा, and this will be explained in both the language, so you don't have to worry. Okay. So what is ITC? So whenever we do any sale transactions, we will pay tax on it. Correct. So that is the tax on the sales, that when you make sale, the output GST will be paid on it. Now, when you make a sale, output GST is paid. When you buy something, like how you have to pay taxes, that person who is selling to you, he will also pay taxes. So he will pay taxes. Now, how do you understand this? That you are a person who is buying and you are selling. So when you sell, you charge the tax, which is called as output GST. Now, when you purchase from something, that person is charging GST. Correct? तो क्या वो भी टैक्स भरेगा, मैं भी टैक्स भरूंगा? Is this double taxation? If I don't get the benefit of the taxes what I've paid, then it becomes double taxation. But that is not the case in the GST. कि आप जब भी किसी से purchase करते हो, whenever you buy from somebody, when he charges that tax, okay, that tax you can claim it. That is called as input tax credit. Now that purchase, that what you're paying taxes could be on purchases. If you're a trader, you're buying something, you're selling something. So when you buy something, that is the tax on purchase. Apart from buying, you may incur expenses. Okay, that is also input tax credit. And you may buy some capital goods or a equipment, machineries, all of that. So tax on machine, or it could be any capital goods, whatever you procure, whatever you buy, whatever you use it for your office, whatever you use for your factory, that on that what GST is being charged, that also you can claim. So all of that put together is called as input GST, or it is called as ITC, which is also called as input tax credit. The ITC full form is input tax credit. So on your output, you reduce your input tax credit, and the balance is GST payable. Okay. Now, output minus input is your GST payable. but in some cases, your output may be less, your input may be more. Then it is a negative value, and that is called as GST credit, which is a balance of the ITC. Now, that balance wherein you have procured more, you have more input tax credit than your output. That is called as balance of input tax credit, which you can use it in your subsequent month. ठीक है सर, एक डाउट है, अगर सप्लायर क्रेडिट नोट करता है, इश्यू करता है एंड रिसिपेंट को आईटीसी रिवर्स करना पड़ेगा, तो क्या कोई इंटरेस्ट भी देना पड़ेगा? टेक्निकली नो, बिकॉज यू हैव यूज द क्रेडिट, बिकॉज यू हैव गॉट द डॉक्यूमेंट, और बाद में अगर उस सप्लायर ने क्रेडिट नोट दिया है तो उसने कुछ इंस्टेंस पे दिया है, करेक्ट, वो भी क्रेडिट रिवर्स करेगा ना, तो इसीलिए इंटरेस्ट नहीं लगेगा क्रेडिट नोट पे। ठीक है, सो टू अंडरस्टैंड आईटीसी, जिसको भी समझ में नहीं आया है इंग्लिश में, कि हम जब सेल करते हैं तब आउटपुट टैक्स पे करते हैं, करेक्ट, और जब हम परचेज करते हैं तब हम जो टैक्सेस पे करते हैं अपने वेंडर को, ठीक है, वो जो इनवॉइस में लिख के देगा उसे कहते हैं इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट। सो अपना सेल्स के ऊपर जो टैक्स पे करेंगे उसे कहते हैं आउटपुट टैक्स, और जो हम परचेज करेंगे या फिर कुछ खर्चा करेंगे या फिर कुछ मशीनरी खरीदेंगे, उसके ऊपर जो जीएसटी सामने वाला लगाएगा उसे कहेंगे हम इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट। ठीक है, सो अपने आउटपुट में से इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट कर रिडक्ट करने पे जो अमाउंट पेएबल आता है उसे कहते हैं जीएसटी पेएबल। ठीक है, और अगर आउटपुट माइनस इनपुट, इनपुट अगर ज्यादा है आउटपुट से, ठीक है, तब उसे कहेंगे जीएसटी इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट, जो हम अगले महीने यूज कर सकते हैं। Correct. In sales, we collect tax on output. You're right, Anubhav. Balance ITC is called as input tax credit, which lies with you, which you can offset in the future. ठीक है, नाउ अगर बेसिक्स ये समझ में आ गया तो फिर एवरीथिंग बिकम्स इजियर, बिकॉज दिस विल बी द बेसिस वेयर वी विल यूज इट फॉर द फ्यूचर। ठीक है, now we'll understand this with the example. अभी मेरा आउटपुट है, दिस इज माय सेल। टू मेक दिस सेल फर्स्ट मैं प्रोक्योर करूंगा, सो विल गो स्टेप बाय स्टेप। टैक्स पेड ऑन परचेज ऑफ एक्स, आई एम अ मैन्युफैक्चरर इन दिस केस, मुझे एक्स वाई जेड और एक्स वाई और जेड खरीदना पड़ता है, दीज थ्री प्रोडक्ट्स हैव टू बाय। तीन प्रोडक्ट परचेज करूंगा, then I will do the manufacturing and then I will sell it. So X I purchased for ₹100, मतलब I purchased for some value, but उसके ऊपर taxes ₹100 है. Okay, we'll just see the tax portion. So when I purchased X, he has charged tax of ₹100. When I purchased Y, he's charged tax of ₹120. When I purchased Z, he's charged a tax of ₹80. So these are the three products which I will blend it, do the manufacturing and do the make the manufactured product, और manufactured product को मैं sale करूंगा. So when I sell it, that the sale price के ऊपर मुझे tax pay करना पड़ेगा, that is I'm charging ₹450. So it's not addition of all these three, because I will do the addition, put my labor, put my all my equipments and do the manufacturing. So my output will definitely be higher than my inputs, because मेरा margin भी रहेगा. So my output is ₹450. So when we say what I should pay to the government, I should pay ₹450, because this is my output tax जो मैंने सेल किया है उसके ऊपर है. From that, I have to reduce all the inputs. I have to reduce 100, 120 and 80. So I will pay 100 plus 20 plus 80 minus करूंगा from 450. Balance is 150, which I will pay to the government. So in this, my output tax is 450 and my input tax is ₹300. So from 450, when I reduce my ITC, balance is the tax payable. In case of sales, supplier pays GST after collecting from recovering, and in case of purchase, supplier will get ITC on the relevant purchases. Partially correct, because in case of sales, supplier pays GST after collecting, not necessary. He will pay the GST when the time of supply arises, which we have discussed in the previous chapter, that when the time of supply arises, he will pay it. and he will not wait till he recovers from his customer. इसका प्रैक्टिकल या प्रैक्टिकल भी करवाएंगे. क्रेडिट सेल्स भी हो सकता है, करेक्ट. सो क्रेडिट सेल्स भी हो सकता है या कैश सेल भी हो सकता है. सो वंस यू रेज इनवॉइस, उसके ऊपर जो टैक्स पेएबल आता है, दैट यू विल डिस्क्लोज इन योर जीएसटी रिटर्न्स एंड पे इट. So you don't have to wait to recover it from your customer. Any doubts in this? Yeah, okay. Good evening. No doubts. Good. ठीक है. So we are got it till here कि output minus input जो होगा, we will pay the net tax on it, and whatever is the input will be whatever I procure it from my vendors. Now, to that was the basic understanding. Now we'll get into the technical aspects, that why this credit is important. That when we had uh, got GST under the law, why this credit was important? Because before GST, that credit used to come in terms of SENVAT and VAT. Now, what is SENVAT? SENVAT means, before getting into the features, SENVAT means when a manufacturer sells the goods, okay, he will charge the tax which is called as excise duty, or it is called as SENVAT. Okay, SENVAT is a combination of central plus VAT. That's why it is called as SENVAT, and that value added taxes was charged by the central government. So that's why it was called as SENVAT. And whatever taxes was levied by the state government, because state government had the power to levy VAT. Like before GST, we had VAT, that any sale transactions happens, then the state had the power to collect VAT. So that was the VAT which was collected by the state government, and SENVAT was collected by the central government. So SENVAT and VAT, these were the two taxes which were levied. Now, when a SENVAT was levied, can the VAT payer claim the credit? Kuldeep Nagar's question is, GST paid on raw material will not form part of the cost for last supplier in channel. It will be, no? Because when I procure it, right, and when I sell it, I will reduce the ITC, but whatever is the differential, I will add it to my cost, right? So it will get added. And when it is the last supplier, it will definitely get added. Right, Jaya Manucha? That SENVAT and VAT were not able to handshake with each other. So when I manufacture something, I will pay SENVAT because I've done the manufacturing activity. And once that manufactured goods have been sold, I will sell VAT. I will add VAT also. Now, when I sell it to a retailer or when I sell it to a distributor, he is not registered under central excise. So he was never able to get the credit of that SENVAT. He was only getting the credit of the VAT. So SENVAT will become an extra cost for him. Okay, so that will add up to his cost, because on SENVAT, only a manufacturer can claim the credit. So since the first person is a manufacturer, second person may not be a manufacturer. So he can be a trader. He's only buying and selling. So that Senvat will be added to his cost and used to increase his cost. So that is what is the meaning of there was no fungibility between Senvat and VAT. Secondly, VAT was levied by the state government when you do intra-state transaction, like how today you have intra-state transaction by CGST and SGST, and when you do interstate transaction, you have IGST. Similarly, before GST, pre-GST, uh, on intrastate, VAT was charged, and on interstate, CST was charged. So when you do an interstate transaction, you will pay CST on the goods, and when you do intrastate transaction, you will charge VAT on those goods. Now, I procured something which I'm purchasing from interstate. So what will the supplier charge me? Supplier charge me CST. That was called as central sales tax, because on interstate sale of goods, central sales tax was paid, and when I sell it within the state, what was charged? VAT was charged. So when I purchase interstate, CST was charged. Now I should get the credit of it, but before GST that was not available. Today in GST, IGST we can claim as a credit against CGST and SGST. But before GST came in, the CST also was not able to interact or give me the benefit of claiming the credit of CST against VAT. CST was not never claimable. So that these are the reasons that it led to GST, wherein every transaction, whether you purchase from a manufacturer or you purchase from a interstate person from another state, but also credit will be available. These are the biggest advantages under GST. Okay. Under GST, there is a seamless credit on goods as well as services. And exception is only two. When exception is when your suppliers charged to tax under composition scheme, because you have learned this composition scheme, right? Can a composition scheme person charge GST and can you claim the credit on it? So SENVAT at manufacturing stage and VAT on supplier stage, and final consumer can claim SENVAT and not VAT. No, final consumer cannot claim both. Golti Anil Kumar, he cannot claim both. He can't claim credit, right? No, yes, that's right. So a composition scheme is the only scheme which gives the benefit, but the chain of credit gets stopped. That in composition scheme, he is not allowed to claim the ITC and he cannot charge the GST as well. So, except in case of composition scheme, and when a person supplies exempted goods, there the credit gets blocked. How does the credit gets blocked in case of an exempted supplier? I am supplying it to a person. For me, it is taxable. I will charge, say, 5%. But the person who procures it, now he will do some activity and sell it for which there is an exemption. So he will not collect taxes. But if he does not collect taxes, whatever I have charged to him, that credit is not available, that gets blocked. Even restaurant, yeah, restaurant also and the same thing, Navneet, that they also cannot claim the credit. Yes, Ashrisha, which point you want me to repeat? Block credit. Okay. So that is where the credit gets blocked and it doesn't get passed down in case of a exempted person. I will give it with the examples. Block credit or losses, yes, it is. It is definitely a loss. So I'll give you an example here. Mm, I'll give you a practical example where it is happening, right? I am a you know that what is maps, Indian maps and things, right? So I am a manufacturer of maps. It could be world maps and things like that. Now, a manufacturer of maps will require various purchases. What will he purchase firstly? Paper is required because on paper only he will do the printing of the maps. So, paper is required, printing material is required, and some machinery is required because how will he do printing? He'll do printing through the machinery. Apart from that, raw materials he will require and some consumables. Okay, this is his basic purchases. You can say these are his purchases. Now, if this person purchases paper at say 1,000 rupees, okay, the person who is selling him the paper will charge 50 rupees as GST because on paper it is 5 rupees, 5% is the GST. Printing material he's procured say 200 rupees. On 200 rupees, the GST is 18%, which will be 36 rupees. Consumables, say 100 rupees. On 100 rupees, he will charge 18 rupees because there the GST rate is 18 rupees. Machinery, say he's bought it a machinery for higher value because machinery will not be as less like paper. 10,000 rupees on that credit of 1,800. So total ITC is how much? 50 plus 36 plus 18 plus 1,800, which is 1,904. So this is the credit which is available, right? $1,904 is what is the taxes he has paid. Now, when we were talking about a person who's selling maps, when he sells maps of say worth 20,000 rupees, for him the GST rate is 0%. So GST he will pay 0 rupees. 20,000 सेल किया, GST 0 है. Now whatever purchases is made, this is his ITC. Can he claim it? He cannot claim it because when a person sells any exempted goods, he cannot claim any ITC. So he has to do the ITC reversal of rupees 1,904. He's not doing any other business. He's doing only manufacturing of maps and maps के ऊपर GST rate 0% है. So on that he will not claim any credit क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट को चाहिए कि अगर आपका आउटपुट टैक्सेबल है तब आपको इनपुट मिलेगा, लेकिन अगर आपका आउटपुट ही 0 है तो फिर आपको इनपुट नहीं मिलेगा. Clear? So whatever is this 1,900 add to his cost and usko credit nahi milega. His ITC will not be there. That is how this credit is not available. Clear hai yahan pe? There's no loss because Anubhav, there's no loss. This is the numbers which I've given, but as a business, it is profitable. Credit is loss. Just because credit is loss, it doesn't mean that you should not do business. You will still do that same business. Yes, ITC on capitals can be used, Kuldeep, on GST payable on finished products. But if the finished product itself is exempted, then you cannot claim the ITC. Can you claim as a refund? No, Ashlisha. Refund is possible only when you export something and your rate of tax on input is more, okay, than the rate of tax on your output. But in this case, it is exempted, so you cannot claim refund also. Correct, Jaya. If he is not able to claim, he will add it to the cost of his product. You're right. Okay. Yeah, Pranav, why can't hotel claim ITC as they charge GST from customer? Because the rate, Pranav, is that when you're a restaurant and you're charging 5% GST, then the condition is we will give you this benefit of 5% and you should not claim the input tax credit. So that's the condition given in the GST rate for restaurant service providers. So that's why they cannot claim it. Not because of anything else. उस rate में ही special rate दिया गया है that you have to charge 5% and you should not claim. That's the reason a restaurant service person cannot claim it. When ITC can claim after output sale or before? As in when you get it, right? In that we will understand in this chapter itself that when can we claim it. That is the crux of this chapter also. That when can we claim the credit? Good participation. Any more questions? Can you please explain once again? I did not understand properly. Which part, Pranav, on your restaurant question? Refund concept, don't worry, Anubhav, it will confuse you. Just for specific question and answer. Yeah, restaurant, Pranav, the concept is the GST gave a special rate to restaurant. Earlier, they used to charge 18%, but customers were complaining that 18% for food is too much. So you can't charge so much. So you reduce it. The government said, okay, we'll reduce it. But these restaurant people should not claim the credit. Then we will give them the lower rate. So that's when they reduced the rate, gave them a special rate of 5%. And they said, you can charge 5% so that your customers are happy and they will come to you, but you should not claim any input tax credit. Okay. How long it can be taken means any lapse? No. Once you claim the input tax credit, it is yours, but you should claim it within time. What is that time? That we will see it here. But if you claim it after that, then it is lost. But once you claim it, then it is yours permanently. Nobody can take it away from you. There's no validity period or it will not get lapsed. No, Anubhav, refund concept we will not discuss. It is not there in your syllabus. In case of special economic zone, ITC is not blocked. No, because in case of special economic zones, they will export it and that benefit is given to them कि आप export भी कीजिए और आपको input tax credit भी मिलेगा. That's a special benefit which is given to them. If you pay 18% input GST and collect 5%, will it get ITC? Yes, you will get it. And there you will get a refund also. That is called as the second type of refund when your ITC is more than the rate of ITC is more than the rate of your output. Is ITC an asset? Yes, it is an asset. Yes, some more questions. Composition scheme, Anjana, you'll have to go to that thing. where they have spoken on composition scheme. But to give you a brief, composition scheme is a special scheme ki jab you don't have to pay charge GST at 18%, 12% or something. You have to charge only 1%, but there you will not get input tax credit. And that 1% also, what I'm saying, you cannot collect from your customers. जो भी आप सेल करोगे उसके ऊपर आपको 1% पे करना है. सिंपल स्कीम, आपको इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट का बेनिफिट भी नहीं मिलेगा. दैट इज द स्कीम ऑफ कॉम्पोजिशन स्कीम. ओके. Senvat and excise is same. Yes, Khushbu Kumari, both are same. Sir, like in restaurant bill, there is a total of separate items and rate of CGST and SGST, and then deducted amount is there. So input tax credit is paid on deducted amount of before deduction. No, no, no. On restaurant, separate items is there and rate of CGST and SGST charge. Then there is no deduction amount. Reversal, how it is done. So when they charge in the bill, it will be that one only, Aditi. When they file their returns, then they will do the reversal. It's not that on our invoice they will do it, because whatever they have to collect from the customer, they will collect it and pay it to the government. But जो भी input tax that they will show in the returns कि मुझे इतना input tax मिला था, now on this I cannot claim the input tax credit, so they will reverse it. Is ITC transferable? No, it's not transferable. You only have to claim it. If you cannot claim it, it is lapsed. You cannot transfer it. करेक्ट. रेस्टोरेंट बिजनेस में रेगुलर स्कीम के में भी आईटीसी नहीं मिलता है और कॉम्पोजिशन में भी नहीं मिलता है. Yeah, when what happens in case when a person switches to composition, we have a special pointer on that. We will discuss that, Golti Anil. Okay. If output take 2 months to produce, but ITC is paid in first month, then we will claim the ITC in the first month and pay the output tax on sale. You can claim it, Jaya Bachchan, Jaya Manocha. You will claim it in the first month. No output tax. That will get carried forward to next month. Second month also there is no sale. That carry forward, and this month's credit you will get added up. And then third month, when you have output tax, you will claim whatever is kept. Okay. What are the benefits to opt regular scheme for restaurant business? Why not composition? Both are same, Naveen, because in case of regular scheme, you can collect taxes from the customers, but in composition scheme, you cannot collect it. That's the difference. So in case of a restaurant, going with regular scheme will be better. At least they can collect that 5% from their customers. Clear, Jaya? Your question is answered. Okay. So now we'll get into topic now. A lot of questions have been answered. That what is composition scheme and exempted scheme. I appreciate that. Yes, you have taken proper questions at proper time. Okay. Now, ITC, what are the features of ITC? Somebody is asking for benefits. So we'll identify the features and benefits. It avoids the cascading effect. Like how we had seen under Senvat and VAT, there was tax on tax. Senvat Q also you have to pay VAT. That effect is gone. So under GST ITC, there is no cascading of taxes. Tax के ऊपर tax नहीं है. जो भी tax pay करोगे आप उसका credit claim कर सकते हो. Second is the ITC is destination based tax. So ITC will go to the destination as and when the goods are moved from one hand to another hand, the ITC also goes along with it. Okay. Third is ITC is available on inputs, services, and CG. What is CG? I have told this, capital goods. So ITC is just not that ITC is available on inputs and input services. Even on your capital goods, you can claim the credit. Then there is a concept of block credits. We will learn that in detail, that whatever credit is available, fungible, everything मैंने बोला है, but there is a concept of block credits that your credits will be blocked through some mechanism that even if you use for business, it will get blocked. There is a concept of block credits, even if it is used for business. Then ITC. So I draw a good circle, right? I'm a good artist. Then ITC is used for payment of taxes. This is also good that ITC is used for payment of taxes. Then ITC is not available when tax is not payable. This आप समझ लीजिए that ITC will not be available when tax is not paid. That is मैंने बताया ना इतना डिटेल से with example that when you have your exempted supplies or when you have a composition supplies, you do not have any tax payable, तो आपको ITC नहीं मिलेगा. Exception is zero rated supply. What is this exception? Hope you are clear with this exception. Yes, CG means capital goods. Correct, Deepika. नवनीत, अगर रेस्टोरेंट वाला कोई आईटीसी क्लेम कर देता है तब उसे पेमेंट करना पड़ेगा बिकॉज वो क्लेम नहीं कर सकता है. Export supply is zero rated. Yes, there are two types of supplies which are zero rated. One is export supplies, and second is any kind of supplies which you make to a special economic zone unit. You are in normal zone, you are supplying it to a special economic zone. That is also called as zero rated supply. ITC रिवल नहीं कर सकता. Navneet didn't understand what you're talking. So ITC is not available when tax is not payable. But when you're making a zero rated supply, your tax is zero. And when you're making supply to a SEZ, your tax is zero. But still you can claim it because they are special transaction. Even though output is zero, you can still claim the credit on zero rated supplies. Is there any example for special economic zone? Yes, lot of special economic zones are there. Like you are from which state? From उस state का मैं SEZ बोलता हूँ आपको. You are from SRO, so somewhere from south. Tamil Nadu. Yes. Classic example in Tamil Nadu, Kanchipuram, Sri Perambuttur. You have a special economic zone itself there, right? There are some special economic zone units like uh, Kanchipuram Special Economic Zone. So whatever units are there, whatever companies are setting up over there, when they do any supplies, they will do only exports. So when they do exports, government is giving them benefit. And when they will procure raw materials from the vendors close by, okay, then the local vendors who will charge them GST, okay, when they supply them, they will not charge GST because they are supplying it to a SEZ unit and they do not have to charge GST. So that's an example of a SEZ unit. Yeah, Golti Anil, you have any question? Puranjitcha, as they relates to growth of the country. You're right. यूपी में एसईजेड मुझे पता नहीं है. आई कैन सर्च एंड टेल यू कि हर स्टेट में एसईजेड को डेवलप देने के लिए गवर्नमेंट एसईजेड देती है. Gold and Pattu sarees are not SEZ, man. Pattu sarees are there in Kanchipuram, but they are outside the SEZ unit. हरियाणा में हरियाणा SEZ है. करेक्ट जया जी. टाटा वन यूनिट इन हैदराबाद. देखिए सभी स्टेट के आ रहे हैं. What are the benefits to SEZ under ITC? That they do not have to, मतलब उनको जीएसटी चार्ज ही नहीं करेंगे. दैट्स द बिगेस्ट बेनिफिट. अगर कोई चार्ज करेगा तब उसको क्लेम करना पड़ेगा, बट उनको जो भी परचेज करेंगे वो उनको फ्री में आ जाएगा, उनको जीएसटी आईटीसी क्लेम करने की जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज नोबडी इज चार्जिंग देम द जीएसटी एट ऑल. सर लास्ट पॉइंट मींस आउटपुट टैक्स इज जीरो, इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट इज 2000, तो आईटीसी नहीं मिल सकता है इस केस में, करेक्ट. लेकिन अगर अनुभव अगर जीरो रेटेड सप्लाई है फिर भी आउटपुट टैक्स जीरो रहेगा, लेकिन उसमें इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट क्लेम कर सकते हैं. सो अगर आउटपुट टैक्स जीरो है, दो रीजन से जीरो हो सकते हैं, जब वो एग्जेम्प्टेड सप्लाई होता है और जब जीरो रेटेड सप्लाई होता है. जब एग्जेम्प्टेड सप्लाई होता है तब आईटीसी क्लेम नहीं मिलेगा, लेकिन वही जब जीरो होता है, व्हेन योर जीरो रेटेड सप्लाई, तब क्रेडिट मिल जाएगा. क्लियर है अभी अवनबो? Sir, from their GST, Pranav, you will get to know whether it's a SEZ unit or no, and the unit itself will tell we are a SEZ unit, so don't charge us the GST. You can take their SEZ certificate. You can see on their GST number when you put in that the registration will be as a SEZ unit. Yes. Okay. It will be written in question. Yes. For your theoretical purposes, definitely it will be written in question that it's a SEZ unit. So if SEZ supply exempt good, then also they can claim ITC. See, Tanu, first of all, when you're supplying it to SEZ, you will not charge GST. So there is no question of them claiming any ITC. जीरो रेटेड में जो भी इनपुट पे टैक्स पे किया होंगे उनका टैक्स का आईटीसी हमें मिल जाएगा, करेक्ट. अगर आप जीरो रेटेड सप्लाई करते हो तो आप जो भी आईटीसी परचेज करते हो, आपने पे किया, उसका आप क्लेम कर सकते हो. और फर्दर मोर हमें एक्सपोर्ट्स पे तो कुछ भी टैक्स नहीं पे करना होता है क्योंकि वो जीरो रेटेड होता है, करेक्ट अनुभव. यूनिट वाइज जोग्रफी वाइज हाँ केडिको ऑनलाइन पाता केडिको SEZ वेबसाइट ले पाता ಕೂಡ ಒಂದಿಡು. Okay, so these are the features of the input tax credit. Now, the scheme of ITC is no one-to-one correlation is required. What is this? Very important. There is no one-to-one correlation which is required. Means what? I have procured 10 suitcases. I paid GST on that. I have procured 15 bags. I have paid GST on that. And this month, I have sold in a combo, suitcase and a bag. So whatever input tax I have, that is like a full dump. I don't have to see that which one I procured, which one I purchased, and which one I sold. Once I have procured it, it becomes in one category called input tax credit. Now, which belongs to which per sale, one-to-one sale is not required. So one-to-one correlation of ITC is not required. Once you claim the ITC, it will become the full core and you can claim it against any sales. Okay, it becomes a bundled bucket. You can use it for any output sales. डिफरेंट रेट्स कैन बी क्लेम. यस, गुड गुड अश्लीषा. अगर किसी ने मुझे 12% चार्ज किया है, किसी ने मुझे 18% चार्ज किया है, किसी ने 5% चार्ज किया है, एवरीथिंग विल बिकम एज अ आईटीसी. आई डोंट हैव टू सी 12% जीएसटी कितना है, 5% कितना है, 18% कितना है. वॉट एवर दे हैव चार्ज, मुझे सिर्फ कैटेगरी डालना है कि वो सीजीएसटी है तो मुझे सीजीएसटी में लेना है, एसजीएसटी है तो एसजीएसटी में लेना है. ऐसे तीन बकेट रखना है कि CGST, SGST, and IGST, but rate wise, I don't have to keep it. It is all consolidated. ठीक है. Second is IGST is core for interstate. So when you do interstate transaction, IGST becomes a core because you will claim the IGST and you will charge IGST in case of an interstate transaction. And scheme of ITC also is when you have both taxable and exempt supply, फिर भी you can claim it, because when will the credit be blocked? When you're doing only exempted. But if you're doing both taxable and exempted, आप proportionate credit claim कर सकते हो. Okay. And that is what is leading to that when you have both taxable and exempt, then common inputs can be claimed, which is proportionate ITC attributable to taxable supply will be available. Sir, does first point say that if I purchase electrical equipment for my personal use, I can claim ITC through my business? No. Only official business claims you can claim it. It doesn't mean that personal use you can claim it. No. Personal uses you cannot claim, that is blocked. Navneet is saying that means a trader of goods purchasing freezer, cooler, and washing machine at 18% and tax is paid at, say, for example, 36,000 rupees. So when selling freezer, output is 26, he can claim out of 36,000, he can claim 26,000. Yes, that is the correct understanding. You're right. Second and third, fourth point, explain once again. Second, third, and fourth, I got disconnected. Okay. Second point is saying that IGST is core, that when you do any interstate purchase, you will claim IGST. And when you make any interstate sale, you will charge IGST. Okay. And IGST is also very fungible, that you can claim the credit of IGST various times. Okay. You can claim IGST to pay your CGST. You can claim your IGST to pay your IGST. You can claim your IGST to pay your CGST also. Okay, so IGST is the core for interstate. And when we had said that input tax credit can be blocked, but when you're making taxable and exempt supplies, then the common inputs, okay, common inputs, you can claim proportionately for the taxable supply, because your credit is blocked when you're making exempt supply, but credit is available when you're making taxable supply. Say in a situation when you have both exempted and taxable, proportionate credit can be claimed. Okay. So I find difficult to solve input tax rate questions because it is not alone asked, it is always linked with some filing form. Yes. We will solve one question, Aditi. Once we understand the ITC, we will take some problems and solve it with the returns, with the output, input, and everything. Sure, Aditi, we'll do that. Okay. Next, input tax credit. As somebody was asking, can you use personal के लिए जो credit claim किया है वो मैं office के लिए use कर सकता हूँ? नहीं. Only which is used for business purposes that you can claim it. Whether the input is used for business purpose, yes, then ITC is available. If it is used for personal purposes, no. ठीक है, तो यहां तक समझ में आ गया. Secondly, when you're using for taxable supplies, then you can claim it. If you are using for not taxable supply, that is exempted thing, then your ITC cannot be claimed. And when that is the basic understanding, it should be used for business purpose and it should be used for taxable supplies. Now, if you are having any input which is commonly used for business and non-business, तो एक केस हो गया कि बिजनेस के लिए है, क्लेम कर सकते हैं. एक केस है बिजनेस के लिए नहीं है, तो नहीं क्लेम कर सकते हैं. बट व्हेन यू आर यूजिंग इट फॉर बोथ बिजनेस एंड नॉन बिजनेस, कॉमन क्रेडिट, then you can claim input only on the basis of the ratio of the turnover attributable to common credit. Similarly, when you are using any input for both taxable supplies and non-taxable supplies, then you can claim credit proportionately. ठीक है, इसके लिए हमको एक एग्जांपल लेना पड़ेगा. Can we take some numbers and understand this? A, B, C. Okay, these are my inputs. A, I have purchased for 1,000 rupees. GST is charged at 5 rupees, 50 rupees credit hai. B is procured for 2,000 rupees. उसके ऊपर credit है 100 rupees. And C is procured for 3,000 rupees. उसके ऊपर credit है 150 rupees. Okay, these are the purchases which I have made. Now these purchases, तो मेरा टोटल आईटीसी कितना हुआ? Simple, 100, 200 and I think 300 rupees is my total ITC, right? इतना हो गया. Now my output. This is what I procured and this is a credit which is available. Now मेरा output will decide whether this full 300 is available to me or no. Now if I make output of say a car, let's take a product because ABC ITC on ABC products है तो फिर XYZ लेते हैं. XYZ X I'm selling at 1,000 rupees and the GST on that is 18%, 180 rupees. Okay. And the same month I have Y which I'm selling at 2,000 rupees or this is exempted. So now you tell me how much is the ITC which is claimable. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दैट इस एक्स और वाई के लिए मैंने तीनों इनपुट यूज किया है. कॉमन, दीज आर कॉमन थिंग्स बिकॉज इफ इट इज स्पेसिफिकली लिंक्ड देन आई वुड हैव टोल्ड यू, बट दिस आर ऑल कॉमन आईटीसी which I have used. Now I am selling two products only in this month. So how much is the ITC which is claimable? One eighty is claimable. 100 is claimable. Yeah. Jaya Manocha is given the correct answer. Navneet 180 claim करोगे? नहीं तो exempt 120. No. No. Anjana is saying 120. No. अरे Shamli 100 correct. Exempt is answer. नहीं भाई, ITC how much will you claim? 100. Ashlisha, you're right. Okay. So the thing is that Y के ऊपर में कुछ टैक्स नहीं पे कर रहा हूं, so that's the exempted goods and X is taxable goods and I have common ITC because मैंने as कैसे कहा था facts में that whatever I'm procuring on that ITC is there of 300 rupees. So how much ITC I can claim? I can claim ITC proportionately, which is 300 into proportionate. What is taxable? 1,000 rupees divided by टोटल टर्नओवर. टोटल टर्नओवर कितना है? 3,000. 2,000 पे तो मैं क्लेम नहीं कर सकता हूं. सो 300 ऑन प्रोपोर्शनेट बेसिस में जितना टैक्सेबल सेल्स है दैट प्रोपोर्शनेट. सो कितना आता है? इट बिकम 100. So out of 300, I can claim only 100 as the ITC. Okay, so I can claim only 100 as the ITC. So my total credit will become 300. This will not become our total ITC. My credit will become 300. Claimable is only 100. Okay, 100 is my ITC. So मैं कैसे पे करूंगा गवर्नमेंट को? आउटपुट टैक्स is 180. ITC is 100. Tax payable will be 180 minus 100, which is 80 rupees. Clear? अभी समझ में आया नवनीत? आप क्वेश्चंस को देखिए, आपको इजीली समझ में आ जाएगा। एटीएस जीएसटी पेबल करेक्ट है। 360 क्या है भाई संतोष? एक क्वेश्चन क्वेश्चन सिंपल है। मैंने तीन चीजें परचेज की है, ए बी सी। ए का वैल्यू था 1000, उसके ऊपर मैंने 50 रुपीज पे किया। बी का वैल्यू है 2000 और सी का वैल्यू है 3000, उसके ऊपर कितना मैंने टैक्सेस पे किया इतना है। तो मेरा टोटल क्रेडिट 300 हो गया। अब मैं आउटपुट सेल कर रहा हूँ, दो प्रोडक्ट्स एक्स और वाई। एक्स बेच रहा हूँ 1000 रुपीज पे और वाई मैंने बेचा है टोटल 2000 पे। 2000 के ऊपर मैंने जीएसटी पे नहीं किया बिकॉज वो एग्जेम्प्टेड है। एक्स मैंने बेचा है 18% पे, 180 पे किया है। तो मुझे क्रेडिट कितना मिलेगा, दैट इज द क्वेश्चन। So ITC claimable is tax credit into taxable supply divided by total turnover. Correct, Anubhav? ABC is input. Yes, ABC is your inputs, procurements. Out of 180, proportionate only is claimable. Out 180 is not your input; it's an output. So output you cannot claim. ठीक है? श्रद्धा 300 कैसे मिला? 50 प्लस 100 प्लस 150 इज 300। ठीक है? सो दैट इज हाउ द क्रेडिट वर्क्स, जब मैं इनपुट यूज करूंगा ऑन आउटपुट एंड एग्जाम। ठीक है? नाउ मैंने सेम इनपुट्स रखे हैं। इधर का डिनोमिनेटर 3000 कैसे मिला? क्योंकि मेरा टोटल टर्नओवर है 300। मेरा टोटल टर्नओवर कितना है? 1000 प्लस 2000। करेक्ट? तो मेरा न्यूमरेटर हो जाएगा 1000 विच इज माई taxable turnover and my denominator will become 3000 because total turnover लूंगा which is 1000 plus 2000। ठीक है? Correct, Tanu. ABC is raw material and XY is the finished goods. ठीक है? Now another thing to understand is मैंने ABC, these are my raw materials। अब मैंने X तो मैंने आउटपुट दिखाया आपको, Y मेरा 2000 है, ये सब ठीक है। अब मैंने क्या किया, मेरे B जो है पर्सनल यूज के लिए यूज कर लिया है 500 यूनिट्स, 500 वर्थ ऑफ गुड्स। ओके? तो मुझे अभी आईटीसी कितना मिलेगा? सपोज फर्स्ट एग्जांपल हो गया, हमने समझ लिया कि टैक्सेबल और एग्जेम्प्ट हो गया। अब मैंने आईटीसी जो है इतना प्रोक्योर किया और मेरा आउटपुट फुल टैक्सेबल ही है। ठीक है? कितना वैल्यू वो जरूरत नहीं है यहाँ पे। बट मैंने बी जो है, आउट ऑफ दिस बी 2000 मैंने पर्सनल यूज के लिए 500 यूज कर लिया, 500 यूनिट्स। सो हाउ मच इज माई आईटीसी क्लेमेबल? नवनीत आप क्वेश्चन पे कंसंट्रेट नहीं कर रहे हो। नील, नील कैसे होगा पूजा? 275। सो 500 के ऊपर प्रोपोर्शनेट 2000 इज 25, 25 चला गया। राइट, योर राइट, योर राइट तनु विश्वकर्मा, वेरी नाइस। Navneet, you're saying only 75 is claimable? Nahi. Pranav, ITC 275, you're right. Zero, wrong, Kuldeep. Jaya Manochai, as usual, you're right, 275. Golti Anil, 300 minus 25, 275, you're right. 275, Shamli Sharma, right. 275 claimable, Navneet, right. नो आईटीसी फॉर पर्सनल यूज, योर राइट प्रेरणा। तो जो भी मैंने पर्सनल यूज किया है 500, कितना, बी वाला क्वांटिटी, तो आईटीसी क्लेमेबल होगा। ए के लिए कितना होगा, 50 रुपीज। बी के लिए होगा, सिंस आई यूज 500, मतलब बैलेंस कितना है, 1500। सो 100 आईटीसी है, 100 इंटू 1500 डिवाइडेड बाई 2000, विच इज 75। सो बी के ऊपर मैं कितना क्लेम कर सकता हूँ, 75, और सी के लिए मैं क्लेम कर सकता हूँ 150। सो माई टोटल आईटीसी क्लेमेबल विल बी 275। हाउ 1500 एंड 2500 डिराइव। 2000 जो है टोटल मैंने परचेज किया, उसमें से 500 पर्सनल के लिए क्लेम नहीं कर सकता हूँ। सो 2000 माइनस 500 इज 1500। 100 किसके ऊपर था, 2000 के ऊपर। सो डिनोमिनेटर विल बी 2000 रुपीज। अब क्लियर है ऑन दीज टू पॉइंटर्स। क्लियर है यहाँ पे तक, वेरी नाइस। नॉट क्लियर, कैन यू ask the question? Can you unmute and ask your question, Kuldeep? That will be better because I am not able to understand what you are not able to understand. Can you please unmute if possible?
Hello.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
good afternoon, sir. Sir, we are saying that ITC for personal use is not available.
Correct.
So first, my point is that how we are using here. Second, I 1500 and 2000 I am not able to consume till now.
Okay. So how personal use, they will give it in the question itself, saying that B, you have procured worth 2000 rupees. And they will mention that out of 2000 rupees, what you have procured, you have used 500 worth of goods for your personal use. Like there's a proprietor, he's bought some goods. A, he used it for his business. B, he's procured and he saw that some personally can use for personal use. He's procured 500 worth of goods for his personal use.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
So
Thank you.
500 worth of goods he cannot use. Now 100 rupees is the credit on full 2000 rupees. Now
Hmm.
proportionate we have to take that on,
Hmm.
if 100 rupees is on 2000, then on 500 how much will it be?
Okay, okay, proportion. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So either
Okay.
you do that 500 divided by 1000 into 100, which will come as 25. So you you reduce that 25 from 100 rupees, you will
Hmm.
get 75 itself. Or this is the another method of doing it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Correct, Anubhav. ITC of 25 on B out of 100 is not claimable. Correct. So that is what it is said here, that anything which you're using commonly for taxable and exempt, first example, claim only on proportionate, and whichever is used for business purposes and which is used for business and non-business purposes, that also proportionately only we can claim it. इनपुट पे, नॉट आउटपुट पे, जो जितना बचता है उतना बाकी आउटपुट में क्लेम कर सकते हैं. Is it mandatory to register under GST in case person doing exempt supply in Assam and planning to start business in UP, which are also covered under exempt supply? No. If you're doing only exempt supply, then there is a notification which says that when you're making only exempt supplies, then you do not have to register. Now, the important definitions which we will have to understand before getting into the thing is capital goods. What are capital goods? Capital goods is defined under section 2, subsection 19 of the GST Act as goods. You don't have to remember these sections. Which sections you have to remember, I will tell you. Capital goods means goods, the value of which is capitalized in the books of accounts and which is used or intended to be used in the course or furtherance of business. They are capital goods. Basically, the goods which you will capitalize in your books of accounts. Which one you will capitalize? That which you will put it in your fixed assets register. So those assets which you keep it in your fixed assets register and which you will use it for your business, they are called as capital goods. Exempt supply. What is the meaning of exempt supply? Exempt supply means supply of any goods or services or both which attracts nil rate of tax or which is wholly exempt from tax under section 11 or section 6, and it includes non-exempt supply, which means that it also includes non-taxable supply. So, which is given a exemption through a exemption notification, or the rate itself is nil, or which is not taxable. That is, these five petroleum products, they are all not taxable. So when you do this proportionate calculation, like how we had discussed, this non-taxable supply also will form part of the exempt supply, because the definition of exempt supply includes this non-taxable supply also. Okay. Input means, what is the definition of input? Input means any goods other than capital goods which is used or intended to be used by a supplier in the course of furtherance of business. मतलब क्या inputs है, क्या inputs नहीं है, this you do not have a kind of list. Whatever you buy and which you are intending it to use for your business, they are inputs. And similarly, input services means any services, not list saying that chartered accountant services, lawyer services, only these are your input services, others are no. They have not given any list. They've said that any input services means any service, as you can see, any goods like that, any services which is used or intended to be used by a supplier in the course of furtherance of business, they are input goods and they are input services. टर्नओवर में इंक्लूड होगा नवनीत, लेकिन एग्जाम में भी इंक्लूड होगा. Good question, Pranav, whether the section 219 is as per CGST Act or SGST Act. CGST Act and SGST Act are like mirrors. Whatever is there in the CGST Act will be in the SGST Act also. So both CGST and SGST Act will be the same. Next, input tax in relation to a registered person means, what is input tax? It would mean central tax, state tax, integrated tax, or union territory tax charged on any supply of goods or services are made to him. And it includes IGST charged on import of goods, taxes payable under provisions of 93 and 94, tax payable under 53 and 54, tax payable under 93 and 94 of the SGST Act, and tax payable under 7 of the UTGST Act. बहुत बड़ा हो गया. We'll break it up and discuss one by one. Input tax in relation to a registered person. मतलब a registered person, from his perspective, what is input tax? Input tax means the central tax, which is central goods and service tax. State tax means the state goods and service tax. So if somebody is charging CGST and SGST, both of them are the input tax. And when he's doing any interstate purchases, then the person will charge IGST. So that is also input tax. And when he's procuring anything from a union territory, then, and he's also in a union territory, then CGST and UTGST will be charged. That is also his input tax. So all these taxes, whichever is charged to him, that is his input tax. And it also specially includes IGST charged on import. When you import anything, as we had seen, when you procure from outside the state or inside the state, whatever inputs you have, whatever imports you have, on that IGST will be charged. So that IGST which is charged on imports is also your input tax credit. The tax payable under 93 or 94. What is this 93 or 94? Right, Golti. Other than a place of supply, everything is there under the CGST Act. You're right. So what is this tax payable under the provisions of 93 or 94, subsection 3 and subsection 4 of 9, which means 9 subsection 3 and 9 subsection 4, which I'm calling as 93 and 94. RCM. Correct. So whatever RCM we pay, very rightly answered Diya Jain, Shamli, and Navneet, that 9 subsection 3 and 9 subsection 4 are the charging sections for reverse charge. तो इंपोर्ट के ऊपर जो हम टैक्स भरते हैं वो भी अपना इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट है. रिवर्स चार्ज पे हम पे करते हैं वो भी हमारा इनपुट टैक्स है. और 5.3 एंड 5.4 जैसे सीजीएसटी एक्ट में रिवर्स चार्ज है, वैसे ही आईजीएसटी एक्ट में भी रिवर्स चार्ज है. दैट ऑल्सो इज माई क्रेडिट. एंड फिर यूटी एसजीएसटी में भी जो है वो भी हमारा क्रेडिट है. यूटी जीएसटी में भी जो पे करते हैं वो भी हमारा क्रेडिट है. बट इट डज नॉट इंक्लूड द टैक्स पेड अंडर द कॉम्पोजिशन लेवी, क्योंकि कॉम्पोजिशन लेवी में रेस्ट्रिक्शन है. तो कॉम्पोजिशन लेवी पे जो टैक्स पे करेंगे वो एक रेस्ट्रिक्टेड है. अदरवाइज all purchases which we make, all expenses what we make, and somebody is charging CGST, SGST, UTGST and IGST, सब कुछ हमको credit मिलेगा. That is the definition of input tax. Clear? Next definition is समझ में आया है ना भाई? ब्रेक. हाँ, ये डेफिनेशन कवर करके 5 मिनट में एक ब्रेक लेते हैं. Important, another definition is taxable supply, means a supply which is leviable to tax. And that is simple definition of taxable supply. Zero rated supply already पढ़ चुके हैं हम. Export and supply to SEZ is a zero rated supply. ठीक है. So these are the important definitions: input tax credit, taxable supply, and zero rated supply. ठीक है. Now we'll take a break of 5 minutes or 10 minutes probably. 7:20 है अभी. 7:30 को we'll catch back and discuss on the important section, which is section 16. SEZ means Special Economic Zone. SEZ, as we had discussed, it's a special economic zone which will have a special treatment. They are called as SEZ units. relevant sections of the ITC. The broader provisions of ITC is starting with section 16, goes on up to section 21. Okay, the ITC chapter under the GST law covers under these sections. And these sections will have rules, the relevant rules, which will coincide, and section will be read with the rules. The main sections which are important, I think, section 16, you have to remember it because that is the main section which talks about the eligibility and conditions for taking credit. Then section 17 talks about apportionment of credit and block credit. That is also very important. Then section 18 talks about the credit in special circumstances. And section 19 talks about input tax credit in respects of input and capital goods, which is sent for job worker. And section 20 talks about manner of distribution of credit by an input service distributor and manner of recovery of credit distributed in excess. So 19, 20, and 21 are not relevant for you. So very simple, only three sections. 16, 17, and 18 is what are relevant for you. The chapter under the law covers 16 to 21, but relevant for your intermediate is 16, 17, and 18. Just three sections. Okay. Section 16 says that you are eligible to take the credit. कि आप credit claim कर सकते हो when you are eligible. You are eligible to take the credit by satisfying two conditions. क्या two conditions है? One is you should be registered under the GST law, and goods and services should be used in the course or furtherance of business. Just two conditions. Starting of section 16 says that you should be registered. So if I purchase something, okay, today I'm not registered, I'm just doing a testing. I purchased something, GST is charged by the supplier. I have bought it. I'm using it for testing purposes. And second month also I do the testing. I purchase some more goods. Third month I sell it. Okay. And third month is when I take the registration because that is when my sales start. So can I claim the credit of the first month and second month? Yes, Aditya, 19, 20, 21 will be in your final. Claim nahi milega, Aditya. Okay. Anubhav also saying no. Yes, very correctly. I've understood it. That any purchases when I do, even though I will sell it with GST, but when I purchased it in that month, I was not registered. I cannot claim the credit of it. So to claim the credit, the first condition is you should be registered. That's the reason many people, even if they don't have any turnover or if they incur loss, still they will register because if you register only then you can claim the credit. So they will register for the purpose of claiming the credit. That is the first condition. Second is goods or services should be used in the course of business. So if you're procuring something and you're not using it for the business, then also you cannot claim the credit. So you should be registered under GST and you should use the goods in the course of business. Then you can claim it. Then you are eligible for taking the credit. Such ITC, that is the ITC, whatever you are eligible, you will, how will you claim it? How will you claim it? You will claim it by claiming it or displaying it or entering it in your GST returns. Once you enter in your GST returns, then that credit will be available to you. So if you log in and claim it in your return, which return? That relevant return is GSTR 3B. So once you mention it in your GSTR 3B, then you can claim the credit. Clear? सप्लायर ने रिटर्न फाइल करते वक्त अनरजिस्टर्ड सेल दिखा दिया होगा, so then you cannot claim it. He will have to mention it, वो उसको अमेंड करना पड़ेगा, and he has to mention your GST number, then you can claim it. ठीक है. Section 16(1) says this, that you should be registered and you should be using the goods in the course of furtherance of business, then you are eligible to take the credit. Then comes section 16 subsection 2. 16 में भी काफी सारे sections हैं. ऐसे खुश मत हो जाइए कि सिर्फ 3 section है, बस 16 ही पढ़ना है. 16 के अंदर subsection और clauses भी है. ठीक है. 16(1) सिंपल था, फिर अभी 16(2) जाएंगे. 16(2) कहता है that what are the conditions for taking the credit. 16(2) gives 6 conditions to claim the credit. Okay. First condition is you should be in possession of a tax paying document. अगर आपको क्रेडिट क्लेम करना है तो you should be having that tax paying document. What is the tax paying document? Either a invoice or debit note. तो आपके पास invoice या debit note होना चाहिए, then you can claim the credit. That is the first condition. You should be in possession of a tax paying document. Without any document you cannot claim it. So supplier को invoice raise करना चाहिए या फिर debit note. We know no when debit note is raised. That when, tell me when debit note is raised. I have discussed this in detail in the past. When prices are to be increased, yes. For interest also yes. For price increase also yes, that is also correct. When goods dispatched, नहीं, goods dispatch के लिए तो invoice रहेगा. Less amount was charged earlier, right? और use addition, ये क्या है और use addition भाई? Purchase return, no. For a purchase return you will raise a credit note. Any additional services provided for composite supply, yes, even then you will raise a debit note, right? Pranav, do you want to unmute and ask?
Sir, I am unable to send a message in chat, sir.
Why so?
Sir, it is displaying as the host has disabled group chats.
Yeah, you can send personal chat.
Okay, sir.
Sure. Any adjustment, yeah. Downward adjustment, yeah, upward adjustment, Shamli, because there could be downward adjustment and upward adjustment. So which adjustment can be, you will use the debit note for? If goods are collapsed or damaged, no, that's wrong, Aditya. Upward, yes. Whenever there is upward, then you can raise a debit note. So when I say the first point, revised purchase bill, right? So when I say that you can claim credit on a basis of tax paying document, that tax paying document will be invoice, debit note. When you import something, the bill of entry, these are the documents which you can use it for claiming the credit. So you should be in possession of the tax paying document. That's the first condition. Second condition is invoice should be uploaded and appearing in your GSTR 2B. Okay. When you buy something, invoice will be there. Just invoice is not sufficient. The supplier should include that in his filing when he does his filing in GSTR 1. Once he files in his GSTR 1, there he has to mention your GSTIN number. Once he mentions that, it will appear in one statement which is called as GSTR 2B. So that will appear in your GSTR 2B statement. So First condition, you should have invoice. Second condition, just invoice is not sufficient. You should have that invoice appearing in your GSTR 2B. So that is the second condition. Now, what is this GSTR 2B? It's like a credit. No, I wouldn't say credit statement. It's a statement which shows you which all credits you can claim. GSTR 2B is that's way auto generated. You don't have to fill it. Suppliers 1, 2, 3, 4, hundreds and suppliers you have procured from. Everybody will mention your GSTIN when they file their GSTR 1, and your GSTR 2B will be auto generated. After they file the GSTR 1, when you download it, all of that credit will appear in your GSTR 2B. If it is not appearing, you will have to tell the vendor that I have procured from you, I have purchased from you, but you have not uploaded your GSTR1, so it's not appearing. I cannot claim the credit. Please upload it. You will have to push your vendors and then claim the credit. If it is not appearing, you cannot claim. Yes, you cannot claim, because that's one of the important conditions. Next month it will appear. That time you can claim. Yes, that time you can claim it. Okay. So first condition, you should be in possession of the tax paying document. Second is the invoice should be uploaded in the GSTR 2B. Then third condition is, yes, auto generated ITC statement from 2B is generated from the GST portal. Third condition is आपके पास bill तो आ गया है लेकिन goods नहीं आया है. Then you cannot claim it. So the third condition is you should have received the goods and services. You should actually receive the invoice. You should actually receive the goods. In terms of services, you should have actually procured it. Okay, that's the third condition. Fourth condition is ITC should not be restricted, which means in your GSTR 2B, there'll be a sheet wherein it will show that yes, you have purchased it, but these credits are restricted. You cannot claim it. If it is coming under that restricted column, then also we cannot claim it. Why? Because government wants to restrict some credit from certain vendors. Because some vendors, they are risky vendors that they will supply, they will give you the credit but not pay taxes to the government. So if you're procuring some from such people, government will identify and give you a list saying that this people you have procured is fine, but I will not give you credit because they are not taxpayers. So I will not give you the credit. Good status have to be uploaded through e-waybill, right, sir? Like arrived or not? No. E-waybill is a separate thing that whenever you do movement, e-waybill should be there. But that's not the condition to claim the credit. That's a condition for supply, but that's not a condition to claim the credit. Example, like there are some suppliers who will show that they have sold under GSTR 1, but they will not file the taxes in GSTR 3B. They'll show 1 lakh is sold, but when it files to paying the taxes, they will not pay it. There's a difference between 1 and 3B. 1 will show all the outward supplies, and in 3B, they will not pay any taxes. So such person, government will identify, and they will, such GSTs, when you procure from such suppliers, they will restrict the credit. What's the condition for arrival? The condition for arrival is this one, receipt of goods. So when you receive the goods, okay, you should prove it by any modes, whether you can prove it by your security pass, or you can prove it by a goods receipt note, which is famously called as GRN. Through these documents, when you can prove it, then this condition will be satisfied. Penalty will be put on that group of supplier. They will put it, but just penalty will not be sufficient because they should also trace that supplier. Since they are not able to trace that supplier, so your credit will be blocked. They should not only charge the penalty, they should find them, because just charging the penalty and not collecting will not be sufficient. They have to locate that supplier also. Does such restriction show in 2B itself? Yes, it will show in the 2B itself. Okay, that's the fourth condition. Moving to the fifth condition, tax levied on supply is actually paid to the government. Okay, whatever is the tax levied, that should be paid to the government also. Just disclosing in the GSTR1 is not sufficient. They should actually pay the taxes. How do we pay the taxes? Through a return called GSTR3B. They should pay the taxes through GSTR3B. If we purchase today and in agreement it is given that goods will be given in 6 months, then ITC will be claimed in the 6th month? Yes. Because today you have entered into agreement, but you have not received the goods. So once you receive the goods, only then you can claim it. Till then, what will happen? Till then, what you'll do? It will appear in your GSTR2B. He has given you the invoice also. You have paid him also, but goods have not received. So you will reverse it and you will claim it once you procure the goods, because all the 6 conditions has to be satisfied to claim the credit. Even if one is not satisfied, then you can't claim it. Then the 6th condition is, how do you claim the credit? All the 5 conditions are satisfied, but how will you claim it? As I had said earlier, you can claim the credit by filing a return called GSTR3B. Once we file the GSTR3B return, only then we can claim it. I'll just show you a return so that you understand this 6th condition, that how it is satisfied. I've just filed one return because today is 20th, due date for filing the GSTR3B return. I have filed a return and I will show you how I have claimed it in the GSTR3B return. This is the GSTR3B return. In this return, I will mention the details of my outward supplies, whatever I'm supplying. On that, what is the tax payable? Okay, so this supplier has supplied outward supplies of 117 crores 75 1 crore 77 lakhs 57,000, and on that he has to pay CGST and SGST. And inward supplies, he is liable to reverse charge, that also is payable, and other supplies. Then comes the eligible ITC. What is the ITC he is procured? I said on reverse charge also we can claim. So inward supplies, which is liable for reverse charge, that he can claim, and all other ITC. Once he mentions in the return whatever is the credit he can claim, he will mention it over here under this column, then he can claim it. And then I told you that you have to do the reversal also. How do we do the reversal? By mentioning it over here, saying that ITC reversal based on section 17, which will come in the next class, what is block credit. So if I have to reverse it, then I will mention it over here. Then that credit gets reversed.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes.
Sir, am I audible? Clear?
Yes.
Sir, in this eligible ITC section, do we ourselves have to mention the amount of ITC that we are like preparing to claim, or what? Or it is auto shown, auto calculated?
Yeah, it is generally auto calculated because, as I said, whatever is in our GSTR 2B, that only we should claim. So it is automatically coming here from GSTR 2B. But we can edit it. For now, we can edit it, saying if there is some corrections or mistakes or something you want to claim less, you can correct it.
Okay, so then it arises the chances of mismatch and further
Correct. So if some vendor
problem.
has given you an invoice, but he's not uploaded it in GSTR 2B, then your credit will be less to that extent.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Here, Navneet, your doubt is also cleared. Uh, Ayana, you can unmute.
Hello, sir. Sir, what is the number of days or years the ITC could be claimed? So, is there any particular threshold limit or the number of years that the business can claim the ITC back?
Yeah. So there are two things under the ITC. One is availing the credit, and next is claiming the credit. Availing means once you mention it over here in your returns, you are availing it. So once you mention it over here, there is a time limit within which you can mention it over here. I will come to the time limit. If you avail it within time, then it is yours. You can claim it against your sales for an indefinite period. So once you book it as your credit, then it is available to you. You can offset it with your sales anytime.
So, sir, in this case, in order to avail it, the supplier has to upload the invoices in GSTR 2B, right?
He has
So,
to upload it in GSTR 1. He
okay.
has to upload in GSTR 1. You can see it in GSTR 2B.
Yeah. So, sir, if he has not uploaded the invoice and you're requesting him to do it, so let's say he did it in the next financial year and not in the current year. So, will I be eligible to receive that ITC in the next year then?
Yes. There is a time limit to up till which you can avail it. If the invoice is dated current year, you can claim it up till the November of the subsequent year.
Okay.
Okay, you have time limit to claim it in this full year, or even if you have missed out in this year, supplier is not uploaded, whatever reasons, you can claim it up till November of the subsequent month. After that, you cannot claim it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Amar.
Hello, sir. In chapter 3, charge of GST, a concept of IGST, we can utilize CGST and AGST. But, sir, as per 3B report, uh, sir, we only use IGST. But in chapter 3, they are saying that CGST and AGST payment are utilized for IGST payment. Sir, it is appropriate or not?
Yes, yes, that's appropriate. You can utilize your CGST and SGST for payment of IGST. You can utilize your IGST for payment of IGST, CGST, and SGST. But only restriction is you cannot utilize your CGST against the SGST, and you cannot utilize your SGST against the CGST. That's the only restriction.
Sir, sir, I have experience about GST 3B in online mode filing, but in I have not seen that we can use CGST AGST for IGST payment.
You can, definitely you can.
Okay, sir. ठीक.
Yes, this GSTR 3B is monthly and it becomes quarterly also. You have an optional thing. In case like we are eligible to some additional ITC, we can show the same which is not reflecting in 2B and we have proper documents. But in case like we are eligible to some additional ITC, like how will you be eligible for additional ITC? Whatever is appearing in your GST or 2B and you have satisfied on the conditions, only then you can claim it. Okay. Yeah, Pranav. What is ITC reversal? I've explained you that some credits like exempt supply we have made, ITC will appear in the 2B, so we'll mention it in the eligible credit. Then we will do the reversal, that is called as ITC reversal. Invoices also need to be uploaded? No, only details of the invoice needs to be uploaded. The actual invoice, they don't have to upload it. Clear? So eligible ITC, take the ITC on import of goods separately, import of services separately, reverse charge separately, ISD separately, and the normal ITC will come here. Then you will reverse it. Then your balance after this reversal, what remains is your net ITC. Okay. We have to mention first and then reverse. Yes. Plus रहेगा तभी minus होगा ना. So you have to mention and then reverse it. Clear? So ITC we understood starting of section 16. In our next session, what we'll do is we'll understand each of these subsections. Sections 61A, 61AA, 61B, 61C, 61C, and 61D. ISD is an input service distributor wherein a person in one office having branch office in other states can distribute the credit. That is called as an input service distributor. Okay. Any more questions on ITC till now? Reversal, we need to first avail it in mentioning in 3B. Yes, then only we can reverse it. You're right. अगर ITC को claim ही नहीं करे, if ITC is not available, so you don't have to reverse. Correct. If you claim it, only then you reverse, otherwise you don't. Clear. Perfect. So read through the ITC and we'll discuss further in the next session. ITC reverse means that it has already been used. No, it's not used. It is there in your 2B, but you're not availing. That is the meaning of reversal. Okay. So get ready for your Titan quiz based on whatever we have discussed, and then we'll continue the ITC in the next session. Then.
Joining code is 718859. Link, please. You may. The link is link also I have shared to everybody. Good evening, Deepika. You can scan the QR code and join using any device. Link is joinmyquiz.com. अच्छा ठीक है. Is screen visible now? This is a 21 students have joined. Please join quickly. All those who are left, 22. Join, Tanu, join the link. Good evening, Amar. Good evening, Goldie. You can scan this QR code to participate in the GST Titan quiz for the chapter Value of Supply. 28 students have joined. 30. Good evening, Navneet. So, are you excited? Are you ready for this GST Titan quiz? Navneet is very excited. Deepika, ready. Good. Good to see this enthusiasm amongst you. Always Goldie and Anil, good. Aditya, yes, ma'am. So we have 35 participants. Competition is going to be tough, as I can see. We have 38 participants, I think. And I think everybody has joined now. Shall we start? Is there anybody left? Please let me know through the chat box. Let's go. Shall we start? Please let me know through the chat box. Let's go. तीन स्टूडेंट्स ने बोला है. Goldie, because competition levels are good. Yeah, true. Yes, ma'am. Prajapati. Ready. Sure, ma'am. Prerna. I think by now, all of you have joined and you seem to be quite excited, quite energetic. 39 students have joined and competition is going to be tough. And I think everybody wants to be on the, at least amongst top 5 scorers and on the top of the leaderboard. So without taking much time, now I am starting the quiz. So first question for today is there on your screen. Wholesale price of for 1 MT of cement sold by X Limited in the ordinary course of business ₹7. Price of 1 MT of cement sold by X to unrelated customer is 6,700. Value of supply made by X to Y is option A is 7,000 and B is 6,700. And 21 of you have already answered it, and 18 seconds is left. We have the large number of participants today. And 34 students have answered it. At the top, we have Muzahid Bhai, rank 2 Adil Khan, rank 3 Aditi. So this was the first question. You have a lot of time with you. You can be on the top 3 scorers, right? See, in this question, the correct answer is option B, which has been answered by 26 students. So we can see that 63% have given the correct answer. Now you will ask why option B? The reason being value of supply is a price which is actually paid or payable, not the wholesale price. So what amount is actually payable in this case? The amount is rupees 6,700. So 6,700 is your answer. Moving to the next question. Next question is there on your screen. You have 1 minute with you. Grant-based contracts with ABC company to conduct a dealers meet. In furtherance of these grant-based contracts with vendors to deliver goods, services like water, soft drink, audio system, projector, catering, flower, etc. at the venue on the stipulated dates at the stipulated prices. Grant-based is liable to make these payments as contracted. Soft drink supplier wants payment upon delivery. ABC agrees to pay the bill raised by soft drink vendor on grant-based on receiving the crates of soft drinks. Amount is not billed by grant-based to ABC company, whether payment made by ABC to soft drink supplier would be added to value of supply provided by grant-based to ABC company for payment of GST. One is option A, yes, B, no, and you have 10 seconds left with you. On the leaderboard, we have Aditi at the top, Adil Khan, rank 2, and Geeta. Geeta is there on the top, rank 3. Welcome, Geeta. And many students have, 36 students have answered this question. See, the correct answer in this case is that this amount, this payment would be added to the value of supply. Why? If the customer makes direct payment to some of the liabilities of the supplier to the third parties and supplier does not include this amount in the bill, it will still form part of the value of supply in terms of section 15 subsection 2 clause B. See, at intermediate level, you need not remember the section numbers, but I am telling you because you can re-refer after this GST Titan series is over. You can open up the study material and refer section 15 subsection 2, which says that payment made to third parties by recipient on behalf of supplier in relation to the supply is includable in the value of supply. So next question is there on the screen. A supply price at rupees 2,000 is made with a credit period of 1 month for a period. For payment, thereafter interest at 12% per annum, exclusive of GST, is chargeable. Payment is received after the lapse of 2 months from the date of supply. GST rate is 18%, so value of supply is 2000, 2020 or 2017. Last 6 seconds are left with you. 27 have answered. And the time is over. We have Aditi at the top, Deepika rank 2 and Geeta is rank 3. See, in this question, correct answer is given by 17 students, and I am amazed to see that equal number of students have given the incorrect answer. So it means your concepts is still not clear. It is very important to have a conceptual clarity when you are preparing for a professional examination as a chartered accountancy. In this case, the point to note here is that credit period of 1 month is already given to you, right? तो अगर आपने 1 मंथ के अंदर पेमेंट कर दी है तो आपके ऊपर कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं लगेगा, बट यहाँ पर पेमेंट कब हुई है? आफ्टर द लैप्स ऑफ 2 मंथ. सो 1 मंथ का तो क्रेडिट पीरियड ऑलरेडी अलाउड था. रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट वॉज 12% पर एनम एक्सक्लूसिव ऑफ जीएसटी. सो इट मीन्स 1% पर मंथ. 1 मंथ का आपको क्रेडिट पीरियड अलाउड था, बट यू हैव मेड पेमेंट आफ्टर 2 मंथ, सो 1 मंथ का इंटरेस्ट लगेगा. 2000 का 12% पर एनम है तो पर मंथ यानी 1%. So, GST after applying interest, the value of supply comes to is 2020. Assuming the interest is already given that it is exclusive of GST. I hope that it is clear to you. Now let's move to the next question. A supply price at 2000 is made with a credit period of 1 month for payment. Thereafter, interest at, I think I have taken this question again. Anyway, 10 seconds are left, so let me see how many students take them. Good. So now we have, wow, there is a lot of change in the leaderboard I can see. Now rank 1 has been backed by Kyasumi, rank 2 Aditi, and rank 3 is Deepika. So there's a tough competition I can see. All the new names are, coming on the screen. In this case, correct answer has already been given only by 5 students, and incorrect is given by 32. See, 2017 is the correct answer. So GST rate is 18%. Value of supply. This question we have already discussed. Now let's move to the next question. Selling price of a pen is ₹50. 4 pens sold to student in government school. A company received price-linked subsidy of ₹30 per pen from an NGO, so that the student can pay only ₹20 per pen. What would be the value of supply of the pen for the purpose of GST computation? Option A 50 and B is 20. This is very important point. Subsidy. This is the point where students generally get confused. A new name we have at the top of the leaderboard. Kavya B, good. Rank 2, Indrani, another new name, and rank 3, Pallab. Good. Now I am also, excited to see who will be the leader of the today's GST title quiz. So correct answer is given by 25 students. Very good. But 4 have not attempted it, and 13 students have given the incorrect answer. See, the correct answer is ₹50. Why ₹50 is the correct answer? The reason is because this is a non-government subsidy, right? So if the subsidy is given by state or central government, then it is not to be added to the value of supply. But here subsidy has been given by an NGO. So it shall be added back to the value of supply. So the value of will come to rupees 50. Next question is there on your screen. Selling price of a pen 50. 4 pens sold to government in a government company receive price linked subsidy of rupees 30 per pen from state government. Students can pay only rupees 20 per pen. What would be the value of pen for the purpose of GST calculation? Option A 50, B 20, and 41, 40, 39 seconds are left with you. Only 6 students are left with answering. All the other students have already answered. Please answer, all the students who are left, please answer. And the time is over. We have Kavya at the top, rank 2 Indrani, rank 3 Pranav, and 4 Shamli, good, rank 5 Zaya, very good. So, the correct answer is given by 36 students, very good. In this case, the value of the pen will be rupees 20. Why? Because subsidy has been provided by the state government. And if subsidy is given by state government or central government, it is not to be added to the value of supply as per section 15, subsection 2 and clause E. Next question. Royal Biscuits Company gives a discount of 30% in the list price to its distributor. Thus, for a carton of spice biscuits in the tax invoice, list price is mentioned on rupees 200, on which discount of 30% is given. So, value of supply is option A 200, B 140. Last 10 seconds are left with you. And 37 students have already answered this question. I think 4 or 5 students are there who are not attending, who are just watching this session. Kuldeep, why are you not able to use quiz? 140. Do you not have any other device? You can log in through your mobile as well. Okay, but Kuldeep is participating through chat. Very good, Kuldeep. Your answer is right. Ma'am, मेरा नाम कहाँ है? Mr. Navneet Moria. Navneet, if you will be, as of now, I am reading top 3 candidates of the leaderboard. आपका नाम, आप भी top 3 candidates में आइए, आपका नाम भी announce होगा. Jaya, please explain last question. Last question was relating to subsidy only. आपके पॉइंट्स ऑलरेडी लीडर बोर्ड में शो हो रहे हैं, राइट? So now at the top we have Kavya B, rank 2 Indrani, and rank 3 Pranav, 4th Shamli, 5th Jaya, 6th Thyasami, 7th Geeta, 8th Aditi, 9th is Muzahid Bhai. In this question, the correct answer is rupees 140. And it is given by 32 students. Why discount has been allowed as deduction in this question? हमारा list price 200 rupees था, 30% का discount था. Discount is allowed as deduction in this case because discount is allowed at the time of supply and it has been shown in the invoice. Discount की condition क्या होती है? अगर आपने at the time of supply दिया है या फिर before at the time of supply है, if it is shown in the invoice, then discount is deducted from the value of supply. पोस्ट सप्लाई के लिए भी डिस्काउंट की डिडक्शन मिलती है, बट उसके लिए 3 कंडीशन है. ही शुड बी इन टर्म्स ऑफ एन एग्रीमेंट एंटर्ड एट और बिफोर द टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई. It can be linked to relevant invoices. And third point is proportionate ITC should be reversed by the recipient. In that case, post-supply discount is also allowed as deduction from the value of supply. But here, the discount is given at the time of supply. Next question is there on your screen. Yog Rishi rents out a commercial building owned by him in Sanskriti Society, Noida, UP to Bharat for a monthly rent of 1 lakh. He pays municipal tax of 20,000, which he has not recovered from Bharat. Yogi Rishi also pays the maintenance charges of 5,000 reimbursed to him by Bharat for the month as charged by the society. The value of supply for the month of January is dash. All the amounts given here under are exclusive of GST. Option A 1 lakh, B 1,20,000, C 1,25,000, and option D 1,05,000. You still have 1 minute left with you. Don't worry, Jaya, I will touch it if the time will permit. I think you are asking question 3 or question 4 was, if I am not wrong, it was relating to grant-based. Then section 15, subsection 2, clause B was applicable. It says that payment made to third parties by recipient on behalf of suppliers in relation to supply is includable. And if you are talking about credit period, तो उसमें credit period 1 month का already allowed था. हमने 2 महीने के बाद pay किया है, तो 1 month का interest है. Interest in that case, it was exclusive of GST. At the time of purchase. Time is about. Kuldeep has already given his answer, but sorry, Kuldeep, this time your answer is wrong. Please listen to me very carefully when I am discussing the interpretation, right? Explanation of the correct answer. So this time we have at the top Kavya B, rank 2 Indrani, 3 Shamini, 4th Geeta, 5th Muzahid Bhai, 6th Adil Khan, 7th Pranav, 8th Ashlesh Bish, and 9th is Jaya. The correct answer in this question is rupees 1,05,000. Why rupees 20,000 has not been included? See, 20,000 जो amount है वो municipal tax का है. But municipal taxes, yes, municipal taxes, they are includable, but they are includable only when if they are charged separately. हमारा section 15 subsection 2 क्या बोलते हैं कि value of supply shall include certain elements. ये मैं आपको स्टडी से ही रीड करके बता रही हूँ. आप भी यू कैन गो थ्रू द स्टडी एंड रीड द प्रोविजंस, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड देम बेटर. Taxes, duties, cess, fee and charges other than CGST, SGST, UPGST, GST compensation cess if charged separately. यहाँ पर हमने municipal charges को charge नहीं किया separately, so it is not includable in the value of supply. Whereas maintenance charges जो हैं, they have been reimbursed to him by Bharat for the month of as charged by society. That is why the value of supply in this case is rupees 1,05,000. Shall we move to the next question? Navneet is saying again, please explain. Navneet, यहाँ पर 1 लाख रुपीज हमारा मंथली रेंट है, 20,000 म्यूनिसिपल टैक्सेस है. म्यूनिसिपल टैक्स को हमने इंक्लूड नहीं किया. रीजन है कि म्यूनिसिपल टैक्सेस हैव नॉट बीन चार्ज सेपरेटली. जो सेक्शन 15 सब सेक्शन 2 में हम टैक्सेस ऐड करते हैं अदर देन जीएसटी, सीजीएसटी, एसजीएसटी, यूटीजीएसटी, जीएसटी compensation says they are to be included, but only if they are charged separately. Here, municipal tax is not charged separately, so maintenance charges of rupees 5,000 will be included. So correct answer is rupees 1,05,000. Am I clear to you? Are the concept clear? Okay, Navneet. So now we are moving. It is very important that you understand the question, understand the concept, That is why I have deliberately taken these, GST pattern piece for the topic which you just have completed in the previous class, so that you are able to brush up and you are able to understand how well you have grasped the provisions, right? So let's move to the next question. And the next question is there on your screen. Sapient Limited, registered under GST, supplies machinery used for making bottle caps to Chandra Limited at a price of rupees 42 lakh, excluding all taxes and other expenses. Apart from the price of the machinery, Sapient Limited charges from the customer the associated handling and loading charges of 10,000 and installation and commissioning charges of rupees 1 lakh. So value of supply of machinery is option A 42 lakh, B 43 10,000, C 43 and D 42 lakh 10,000. And you have 1 minute 20 seconds are left with you, and many of you have already answered this question. Six students have left. They have not. Five have left answering the question. 37 have already answered. I think Kuldeep must have given his answer to the chat. Yes, Kuldeep, your answer is correct. Good. So we have 3 students who are not, I think, participating. Last 10 seconds are left with you. I hope you are understanding and enjoying this concept. Please let me know through the chat. Ashlesh saying yes, ma'am. So on the leaderboard, we have at the top Kavya, rank 2 Shamli, 3 Geeta, 4th Muzahid Bhai. Muzahid Bhai has again come in the top 25. 5th Adil Khan, 6th Indrani, 7th Pranav, 8th Jaya, 9th Yashuni. So in this case, the correct answer is rupees 43 lakh 10,000. Why 43 10,000 is the correct answer? Because in this case, the handling and loading charges, installation and commissioning charges, they are in the nature of incidental expenses, and incidental expenses are includable in the value of supply. Because these are the expenses which are incurred by the supplier or anything else done by the supplier in relation to the supply at the time or before delivery of goods, then they should be added to the value of supply. So shall we move to the next question? I'm happy to see that 32 students have given the correct answer in this case. Navneet saying yes. Ma'am, fresh students are pulled down in the quiz, ma'am, as fresh students don't have gold, ma'am. So next time, please take this point into consideration. I'm not able to understand Gautier, but you want to say. Anybody who is giving the correct answer in the leaderboard, they are at the top. Okay, Tanu is enjoying. Good to see the responses of all of you. Let's move to the next question. And we have 2 more questions where it will be decided who will be the winner of this today's GST Chatter quiz. Bura Limited, a registered supplier in Surat, Gujarat, sold goods to Kala Limited of Delhi on 6th April for rupees 5 lakh, excluding GST, with the condition that if Kala Limited failed to make payment within 30 days of the delivery of the goods, interest at 2% per month on sold set price of rupees 5 lakh will be charged for the period of delay. Goods were delivered and the invoice was issued on 5th April. Kala Limited paid the consideration for the goods on 20th May along with applicable interest. Kala Limited refused to pay any tax payable on the interest amount. Applicable rate of GST in this case is 18%. Value of supply in this case is option A 5 lakh, B 5 lakh 5,000, C 5 lakh 4,000 to 37, D 595,000. This is the question where we get a lot of doubts and queries. Please note that Bura Limited sold goods to Kala Limited of Delhi on 5th of April. This we have already corrected in the revised edition. Read 6th April as the 5th April, right? Here I missed out. So you have lot much time with you. I have deliberately given the maximum time in this question because we get a lot of query from students. They are not able to understand this, how the answer will be computed. You still have 3 minutes, and if all of you will answer, I will end this question and see who is the winner of this question. Thirty-two have already answered. Application is also taking into consideration earlier quiz rankings, right, ma'am? No, this is a fresh quiz assessment for today's. So whosoever is answering this today's session in a correct manner, they are at the top of the list. But for all the questions, yes, starting from question number 1, which I took today. Anyway, Tanu, very good that at least you know the concepts. Don't worry, you have wrongly clicked the wrong option, but do not make haste in the examination. See, sometimes in the exam also we commit the same mistakes. We know the answers, but in the hurry due to examination pressure, we end up in writing the wrong answer. Do not repeat the mistakes. It is good that you have committed this mistake in this assessment only. Your exams are there. Please perform very carefully in the examination. Doesn't matter, your answer is correct. Good. So shall we end the answer? I think 37 students have already answered. Is there anybody student left who is in the process of giving the answer? Please let me know through the chat box. I shall wait, or otherwise I will would like to see the leaderboard. Is any student left, or shall I move to the answer of this question? Let me know, please. "39" have given the answer. 10 seconds are left. And the time is over. Rank 1, Kavya. Geeta. Oh, Geeta is there on the top. Rank 2, Kavya. 3, Shamli. 4, Anil Army. 5th, Muzahid Bhai. 6th, Adil Khan. 7th, Indrani. 8th, Pranav. 9th is Jaya. And the correct answer in this case is rupees 5,04,237. Why this is the correct answer? How this answer has been derived at? This is the question which is raised by a lot of your students. Yes, Goldie, don't worry. I know that a lot of students get confused in this question. So I've given you, more than enough time for solving this question, and I will explain. Don't worry. And please, students, all the students, please listen to this question very carefully. See, यहाँ पर बुरा लिमिटेड ने काला को जो गुड्स बेचे हैं 5th of April को, I told you to read the 6th April is 5th April, ₹4 left with a condition कि अगर 30 days के अंदर पेमेंट आपको 30 days में आपने नहीं की तो इंटरेस्ट एट द रेट ऑफ 2% पर मंथ है। यहाँ पर 2% पर एनम नहीं है, एक महीने का इंटरेस्ट आपको 2% लगेगा 5 लाख रुपीज के ऊपर। गुड्स हमने डिलीवर किए और इनवॉइस इशू किए हैं हमने 5th अप्रैल को। काला लिमिटेड पेड द कंसीडरेशन फॉर द गुड्स ऑन 20th में, तो 5th में से 20th में तक कितना डिले हुआ? 5th से लेकर 20th में तक डिले इज ऑफ 15 days। एम आई राइट? इज दिस पॉइंट क्लियर टू यू? तो एक महीने का इंटरेस्ट रेट है 2% पर मंथ। तो अगर डिले 1 month का है देन इंटरेस्ट इज 2%। अगर यहाँ पर डिले है 15 days का तो रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इज 1%। ठीक है, मतलब आप 5 लाख को 2% इंटू डेज करोगे, 15 days डिवाइडेड बाय 30, सो इट विल कम टू ₹5,000। अब यहाँ पर काला ने बोला है कि काला लिमिटेड रिफ्यूज टू पे एनी टैक्स पेबल ऑन द इंटरेस्ट अमाउंट। काला ने कहा कि मैं इसके ऊपर कोई टैक्स नहीं दूंगा, सो दिस इंटरेस्ट विल बी ट्रीटेड एज इंक्लूसिव ऑफ जीएसटी। तो 5,000 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 100 डिवाइडेड बाय 118, 18% रेट है जीएसटी का, तो हम इसको इंक्लूसिव मानेंगे, तो वो आता है ₹4,237। वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई में 5 लाख रुपीज plus interest ₹4,237. The correct answer is 5,04,237. Is this clear to all of you? This is the toughest question which students feel. If anybody of you have not been able to understand, I will explain it again. Jaya 1,000 इंटरेस्ट का अमाउंट है, बट ये इंक्लूसिव ऑफ जीएसटी है। काला ने मना किया है कि वो कुछ और अमाउंट नहीं देगा, इंटरेस्ट टैक्स नहीं देगा इंटरेस्ट के ऊपर, तो 5,000 रुपए इंक्लूसिव ऑफ जीएसटी है, तो 5,000 रुपीज इन मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 100 डिवाइडेड बाय 118 हो जाएगा। तो वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई कम्स टू ₹5,04,237। ये सदित्य गुड। So am I able to explain it to you? Is it clear to all of you? Ashlesh is saying yes ma'am, very much good to see. अब एक डाउट आया है अश्लेष का कि हाउ वी कम टू नो इंटरेस्ट इज इंक्लूसिव ऑफ जीएसटी। से आपको इसलिए पता चला क्योंकि यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है कि काला लिमिटेड रिफ्यूज टू पे एनी टैक्स पेबल ऑन द इंटरेस्ट अमाउंट। अब काला लिमिटेड ने कहा है कि मैं तो इसके ऊपर कुछ और टैक्स दूंगा नहीं, तो आपको यू हैव नो अदर ऑप्शन बट टू टेक इट एज इंक्लूसिव ऑफ जीएसटी। दिस इज हाउ Navneet has understood. I hope I am clear to you. Hope all of you have understood it. Yes, actually, that is why this is a tricky question. And in the GST Titan quiz, we always endeavor to take the tricky questions. So shall we move to the next question? Navneet saying yes, Aditya saying yes, ma'am. Okay. So next question, second last question for today is there on your screen. Dhara Private Limited is engaged in supply of taxable goods. In the current month, it supplied 1,000 units of such goods to Jal and Company at a unit price of 250 and 5,000 units to Vayu and Company at a unit price of ₹2,000. It has received a subsidy of 1 lakh from a NGO Urja for the current month for the energy conserved during the month. The value of supply of goods to Jal Company and Vayu and Company is dash and dash respectively. A 2,50,000, 11,50,000, B 250, 1250, C 350, 1150, 4 3 lakh and 12 lakh. 1.5 minutes is left with you. Golti Anil, देखो 5, please students, you don't get confused. Golti Anil is asking about the previous question. 5 lakh का 2% into 15/30, तो कितना आया आपका आंसर? 5,000 रुपीज. अब यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है कि काला लिमिटेड रिफ्यूज टू पे एनी टैक्स पेबल ऑन द इंटरेस्ट अमाउंट. काला लिमिटेड ने इतने ही पैसे दिए इंटरेस्ट के, उसके ऊपर कुछ भी नहीं देगा. तो इसका मतलब ये जो इंटरेस्ट है, इट इज इंक्लूसिव ऑफ जीएसटी. जीएसटी भी इसी के अंदर इंक्लूडेड है. तो 5,000 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 100 डिवाइडेड बाय 18% जीएसटी करेंगे and divided by 118 करेंगे तो रुपीज 4237 है. So 5 lakh plus 4237, 5 lakh 1,230 is the answer of physics. Is it clear to you now? On the leaderboard, we have Geeta on the top, rank 2, Kavya B3, Shamli 4th, Muzahid by 5th, Adil 6th, Anil Army 7th, Pranav and 8th, Indrani. Very good, congratulations. गोल्टी को भी डाउट क्लियर हो गया है. गुड. So, yes, very good. Navneet, your answer is right. Let us see the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, rupees 250 and rupees 1150. कैसे आया है ये आंसर? 1,000 units into rupees 250 and 5,000 units multiplied by rupees 250. जो सब्सिडी है, सब्सिडी तभी ऐड होती है. वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई शेल इंक्लूड सब्सिडीज if it is directly linked to the price and excluding subsidies provided by central and state government. यहाँ पर सब्सिडी is in the nature of energy conservation. It is not linked to the price, so it will not be added in the value of supply. Now, the last question of the day, which will define who is the leader of the today's GST Titan quiz, is there on your screen. Sapient Limited, registered under GST, supplies machinery used for making bottle caps to Chandra Limited at a price of rupees 40 lakh, excluding all taxes and other expenses. Cash discount of 2% on the above price of machinery is offered at the time of supply. Since Chandra Limited agrees to make the payment within 15 days of receipt of machinery at its premises. Sapient Limited receives a price-linked subsidy of 2 lakh from its holding company Diligence Limited. Value of supply of machinery is 3920, 42, 4160 or 41 lakh 20,000. This is the last question of the day. So please compute it very carefully. One minute is left with you. This is the last question for today. It will define who is the leader of the today's GST Titan quiz. Twenty-three students have already answered out of 43. Last time is over. And the winner of today's GST Titan quiz is Geeta. Congratulations, Geeta. Rank 2, Kavya B. Rank 3, Muzahid Bhai. 4th, Anil Arme. 5th, Shamli. 6th, Jaya. 7th, Deepika. And leaderboard has so we have quoted the name of top 7 candidates. Let's see the correct answer. Correct answer is rupees 41,20,000. How this answer is derived? यहाँ पर जो cash discount है, it is allowed as deduction from value of supply. क्यों allowed है deduction? क्योंकि it is offered at the time of supply. ठीक है? So 40 lakh का 2% discount comes to rupees 80,000. 40 lakh minus 80,000. I'm sorry. It comes to rupees 39,20,000. But यहाँ पर हमें price link subsidy मिली है. It will be included in the value of supply. 2 lakhs. So correct answer is rupees 41,20,000. Is it clear to all of you? Don't worry, Naveen. आपके 2-3 student questions गलत हुए हैं, but your all the other questions are correct. That means your performance is very good. अच्छा, अनिल आर्मी is my name. Okay, गोल्टी अनिल, आप फिर उसको अपना रीनेम कर सकते हो ना. You can rename it, right? अच्छा लगेगा. अनिल आर्मी. Okay. Ashlisha is saying, please explain again. Okay. सब्सिडी ओनली फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट इज अलाउड. कुलजीत का क्वेश्चन है, क्योंकि अभी मैंने पहले भी एक्सप्लेन किया था. सेक्शन 15 को अगर आप पढ़ोगे तो वो कहता है वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई शैल इंक्लूड सब्सिडीज. क्लॉज ई, सब्सिडीज डायरेक्टली लिंक टू द प्राइस एक्सक्लूडिंग सब्सिडीज प्रोवाइडेड बाय सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एंड स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. तो अगर सब्सिडी प्राइस लिंक है तो वो ऐड होगी, लेकिन अगर वो प्राइस लिंक सब्सिडी दी, अगर गवर्नमेंट ने दी है, गवर्नमेंट वाली सब्सिडी ऐड नहीं होगी. यहाँ पर सब्सिडी प्राइस लिंक है और वो होल्डिंग कंपनी की है, इसलिए वो ऐड हो रही है. कोई बात नहीं नवनीत, योर परफॉर्मेंस इज गुड. Question number 4, I'm able to understand now. Okay, Geeta is saying thank you. संतोष, कभी ऐसा हो जाता है कि हम नॉर्मल क्वेश्चंस गलत कर देते हैं क्योंकि हम ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाते हैं, हमें लगता है इसमें है ही क्या, बट उसमें भी छोटे छोटे पॉइंट्स टेस्ट होते हैं. सो आप ध्यान रखिएगा. बट हार्ड क्वेश्चंस आपके सही हुए, इसका मतलब यू हैव द नॉलेज. व्हाट डज इट शो इज कि आपको कंसेप्ट तो आपके क्लियर ही हैं, तभी आपके हार्ड क्वेश्चन मतलब भी ठीक हुए. बट नॉर्मल क्वेश्चंस गलत हो गए, इससे मतलब कहीं ना कहीं जल्दी में ड्यू टू ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस, और आपने सोचा इसमें तो कुछ है ही नहीं, तो इसलिए वो गलत हो गए. यू हैव टू टेक care of this point in your examination. माइनस होती तभी तो ऐड होता है ना मैम. अनुभव मुझे समझ नहीं आया है. मतलब कि सब्सिडी ये जो है, ये प्राइस लिंक सब्सिडी है, ये गवर्नमेंट ने नहीं दी है. सो दिस सब्सिडी विल बी एडेड इन द वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई. अगर सब्सिडी गवर्नमेंट की होती तो हम इसको ऐड बैक नहीं करते. Mr. Linga saying thank you. Kuldeep saying thanks. How discount is arrived? Ashisha का doubt है. 40 lakh का 2% rupees. 80,000 is how the discount has been arrived. Santosh, I think now you have understood. Yes, ma'am. जल्दी आंसर देने के लिए ऐसा हुआ. Yes, yes. 39,20,000 का में 2 lakh rupees ऐड करेंगे. Ashisha, now you have understood it correctly. See, Linga, all the students who have participated in these questions, they are rankers in themselves. So don't worry. This leaderboard shows only top 7 or 8 candidates. But all of you who have participated, a big clap to all of you, because you all are, winners in this sense. Thank you, ma'am. It's really helpful, Ashlesh. I hope that your doubts are clear, actually. The objective of holding this session is that your doubts are clear. अच्छा, गोल्टी एंड अनिल, अब आपका क्लियर हो गया कि 4237 कैसे आया. वेरी गुड. इनकम टैक्स की क्लास कब शुरू होगी? यू मे रेफर द शेड्यूल. एलबीसी शेड्यूल hosted on the website. Doubt clear. So I think the objective has been achieved, that the doubts of all of you has been cleared now. So good to see your performance is good. Majority of you have given the correct answer, but yes, कुछ से बड़े टफ क्वेश्चंस डिफिकल्ट रहे, इजी हो गए, कुछ से नहीं हुए, बट डजंट मैटर. एग्जाम्स में आपने सबने अच्छे से परफॉर्म करना है. भूरा काला लिमिटेड क्वेश्चंस वाज अ बिट ट्रिकी वन. उसमें सबसे ज्यादा डाउट्स आते हैं. आई होप दैट कंसेप्ट्स आर क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू. Okay, now as you do all the time, take 1 minute and share your feedback, because it helps us in analyzing whether you are understanding, taking the things in the right manner or not. Yes, Anil, all these questions you will get, they are there in your study material itself. You can refer the study. Please share your feedback in the feedback form. And we are ending the assessment. So rank 1, Ashlesh Wist. First is showing 2, Adil Khan. Third, Aditya. I think now it is showing the collective. Class performance was good. Forty-three participants were there. Ashlesh Wist have given the 9 correct answers. Adil 4, Aditya ने 8, Aditi 4, Amar 7, अनिल आर्मी ने 10 क्वेश्चंस करेक्ट दिए. वेरी गुड. एज यू वर सेइंग 2 गलत हो गए आपसे. आयना ने 0 करेक्ट दिया. आयना 4. दीपिका ने 8 क्वेश्चंस करेक्ट दिए. दीरानाथ ने 6 दिए. दुष्यंत ने 8. गीता 10 क्वेश्चंस आर करेक्ट आउट ऑफ 12. हरप्रीत कौर 4 क्वेश्चंस करेक्ट. इंद्रानी के 8 करेक्ट है. इंद्रानी तालुका 4. जया मनोचा 9. काव्या भी 10. कुलदीप नागर 0. लक्ष्मण प्रिया के 6 करेक्ट हैं. मुजाहिद भाई के 9 करेक्ट हैं. मुथे संपत 8. नम्रता 7. नवनीत 8. दिस थॉमस सॉजी 5. नित्या के 8 करेक्ट हैं. एनके के 9 है. पवानी 7. पूजा भी 5. प्रणव 8 क्वेश्चन आर करेक्ट. प्रेरणा 5. लिंग राजू 8 क्वेश्चन वर करेक्ट. आंसर्स वर करेक्ट. संतोष 7. शेखर गिरी 4. सोनी 5. स्टेफी 5. तनु 0. Tanu 4, Thyasumi 7, XYZ 5, Yogesh 7, and Divya 0. So now I have announced everybody's name, how many answers were correct. Yes, I think this is considering other quiz also. But the rankers which I told you in the leaderboard, they were the real rankers for today's GST Titan quiz. Thank you, Navneet. Your participation motivates us. Yes, congratulations to all of you. Good, Aditya, you have understood and improved. Thank you, Deepika. This was interesting, amazing. Thank you. Muzahid, good evening, ma'am. Last time say challenging है. Quiz attempt से confidence से grow. Thank you, ma'am. Feeling happy. Thank you. That was the objective of taking this GST Titan quiz. And now we end this. So I hope you enjoyed today's GST Titan quiz. आपके concepts clear हो गए. All the quiz, all the nitty-gritties have been understood by all of you. Doubts have been cleared. Adil saying thank you. Thank you, students, and good night to all of you. See you in the next class. Okay. Good night, and good to see that all of you have participated in the last number, and the participation was good, and majority of you have raised the doubts as well. So that was the objective of taking this session, that your doubts get clear. Feedback completing. Okay, Ashlesh, you can complete your feedback. Great, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, Koti and L. So with this, we end up this session. Thank you, everybody, and good night to all of you. Thank you. Yes, session is over.